Tori, and this is the first ever Daily Creativity Chat. Today, we are going to discuss, you guessed it, creativity. What is it? The dictionary defines creativity as the use of the imagination or original ideas, especially in the production of an artistic work. So this is obviously an accurate description of what creativity is. However, I think it is a little bit misleading and is kind of missing a key component to our actual understanding of what creativity is. It is incredibly common for people to think that creativity is a trait. It is a talent. It is something you have or something you don't. You're either a creative person or you're not a creative person. However, not only do I believe, but science believes that creativity is something we are all capable of, and it's something we all use every day. Creative thinking doesn't just mean that you came up with an incredible concept for super avant-garde artwork. It is something we use to get through our daily lives. If you have ever used a out-of-the-box approach to retrieve your keys that you locked in your car, that's using creative thinking. That's using creativity. Anytime you think differently or think outside of the box about something that you're doing, you're using creative thinking. Now, I think in kind of changing our perceptions of creativity and really understanding what creativity is, it's really important to understand what's going on in our brains. So, a little bit of neuroscience here. Full disclosure, I am nowhere near a neuroscientist. I just like to read about it. So this is more of a kind of just crash course, quick understanding of creativity as I understand it. Your brain is made up of neurons, right? And your neurons kind of represent ideas or thoughts. So you have two neurons, and they're connected via a synapse, which is an electrical impulse between two neurons. Now that connection makes it possible for you to relay information. For example, the reason you're able to answer the question 2 + 2 = 4 is because you created a neural connection in your brain when you were very young, that 2 + 2 = 4. And now if someone asks you, what's 2 + 2? That synapse sends this little electrical impulse and you say 4. Now, what is typically called creative thinking or creativity is when a connection is made, so a synapse fires between two neurons in an unexpected way, meaning an idea that is not expected to be connected to another idea, you connect them in your brain. Aha, creativity. Another way to understand creativity, and it's the way I choose to understand creativity, is to create a connection between two previously unconnected things or ideas. We have creativity. So since creativity arises in our brain from the fusion of two unrelated ideas, it is unfair to think of creativity as some kind of like magic force that either you have access to or you don't. In reality, your creativity is a result of the information you have consumed. It is a result of the experiences that you've had, which is why doing things like looking at art or listening to music or going on trips or traveling or getting out of your comfort zone or doing something new with your body, all of these things are going to increase your creativity because you're creating new neural connections in your brain. And ultimately, your creativity is the result of the connections that you have. Now, what I think is the most beautiful thing about this is that no one can be creative the way you can be creative. We all have entirely subjective experiences, and we all have a big mess of neurons and connections from our experiences, and that is why I can make a connection that maybe you can't, and you can make a connection that I can't. And I think that's why it's so important to have respect for individual creativity and also recognize that whether you consider yourself a creative person or not, you are totally capable of creativity in whatever realm you choose to be creative in. All right, that's really all I have time for today. We will discuss a lot more of those ideas further along in this series. If you are interested in this topic, I would suggest checking this out, The Science of Creativity. It was a Time special edition. I don't know if it's still in print. I got it a couple months ago, but it's really good and it breaks down creativity in very understandable ways. So suggests just various approaches to creativity and how we think about it. The only thing that kind of bothers me is, as beautiful as this is, it like represents the whole like right brain versus left brain thing, which was like totally debunked. Like, you're not either a right brain person or a left brain person. We all use our whole brains. But that's just me being nitpicky. Regardless, it's super good, and I will probably be pulling ideas from this for this series moving forward. So check it out. If you have any thoughts on creativity, what it is, if you have a completely different definition of what creativity is, please leave it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. And until tomorrow, I'll see you all later. Bye.